Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. We are excited to have you here for today's Growing Your Business by adding channel-friendly SaaS solutions to your line card. It's an introduction for all of you resellers and MSPs, providers, agents, advisors, solution providers, whatever name you choose to call yourselves. Today, having been a former reseller MSP myself, I know that depending on who you were talking to, that's how you described yourself. And I always say good morning, afternoon, and evening because we have people registered from so many different time zones. I like to welcome you at whatever time of day you're having. This is Laura Stewart, and I am the Director of Online Channel Events for SaaSMAX. It's an honor to be speaking with you all today and to get to introduce you to our presenter today, Clint Gatewood. Today's webinar will go about 30 minutes or so, and we're excited to have you here. Any questions that you have, please put in the question pane. And if you have any issues, please post them in the chat area. I will be monitoring that throughout the webinar. So let's get started right now and go over what we will be talking about today. The agenda, we're going to talk about what the opportunity is for software as a service, then talk about how SaaSMAX is a value added as a service provider, talk about how we vet all the vendors that go into our channel program for you. Then there's nothing better than being matched perfectly with the ideal vendor for your company. You don't have to do it anymore. We're going to talk about how we do that for you. Concierge is the hot buzzword in the industry right now. What that means is we are your go-to person. You don't have to worry about it. We're there for you. Tell us your needs. We'll take care of it. Clinton is going to be talking about that. Then we'll talk about stacking, bundling, and layering, why that's so important. Then go into your own personal white label channel e-commerce platform. Talk about how we help you grow your business, not just your tech for your business and your clients for your business, but help you as a business owner grow your business. And then we'll finish with introducing you to your partner success team. So without further ado, your host for today's webinar, your presenter, is Clinton Gatewood, SaaSMAX Channel Chief. You probably may know him as the former Channel Chief at Zenith Infotech, where he recruited, onboarded, and activated over 5,000 resellers. He founded an amazing company called Replibit, which was bought by another industry leader, and he's an Army vet. So, Clint, thank you for your service, and it's all yours.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much for the introduction. And as Laura said, I welcome you. And if it's your morning, afternoon, evening, or night, we get attendees from all over the world. We have resellers in over 85 countries today. Yes, we are predominantly US and North American based, but we have very good coverage in many countries around the globe, and that's growing quickly. That's fine. You can go ahead and switch the slide there, Laura. So thank you for showing up. I just wanted to start off today a little bit on the opportunity. And I'm not going to read through each one of these today, but you can see that everybody from IDC, Forrest, Gartner, any other type of company you would go to that does these analytics and does the tracking of where a business is going to grow and what it's expected to grow. There's huge growth within the whole cloud platform business, the business services that go along with it, and SaaS that's up and coming. We've all talked about it for the last 10 years, 15 years. As we were doing application of service pieces and then moving more into the managed services realms and moving more into the cloud and virtual desktops, but really the whole SaaS phenomenon is here to stay, and it's really no longer a phenomenon, it's a serious business. And we can see a lot of great opportunities that are coming up in the marketplace and where the different research organizations are putting it. So Dini, you want to go to the next? I'm sorry, Laura. So SaaSMAX is a VADAS. It's a value-added distributor actually for software as a service. And we help provide to the industry and especially to our resellers different value-added expertise and tools to, as Laura was saying earlier, to help you not only find the right application and bring some new technology into your organization that you can take to your clients, but also helping you focus on your business and helping you grow, find new clients, find new products, find new services, how to bundle them together. And there are many ways we go about this. We have the marketing commerce platform, which is really in its final pieces of being launched. You'll be seeing information coming out from us on invites and about the e-commerce platform and the web stores coming up soon as we start demoing them and we start giving them out to partners. So we have our marketplace, which we'll talk a little bit about that further on. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Everyone that is a reseller or a solution provider with SaaSMAX will have the ability to launch their own white label private web store right from our catalog, which is a fully functional web store. Again, not going to concentrate there on that too much. And we have a lot of our own proprietary tools that we've created for our matchmaking process, which has actually turned into a very good product for us in the marketplace called Partner Optimizer, where we have collected a huge amount of intelligence on the channels in the US and Canada, and we're starting to go global so that we can really help, and where that helps use a channel, we can talk more about that later, but it really helps us make sure that not just every vendor is going to, in SaaSMAX and in our marketplace and our commerce platform, can be reaching out to you, but you're getting put in touch with and being directed towards vendors that share a lot of the same DNA as your company, whether it's the verticals you're selling into, the different line of business applications you're selling, companion products, your business model, things of that nature. So it's been very effective for us and for our channel. We'll move to the next slide. So with SaaSMAX, what does SaaSMAX provide to you? There's many different services that we do that help you make sure that the vendors that you're going to be talking to are good vendors insofar as they're ready to talk to channel members. In the SaaS world, only 23% of SaaS today is actually sold through a channel, let alone the IT services channel. There's a lot, there's a whole, what we call a SASM, instead of a chasm, we call it a SASM, between the SaaS vendors and the channel. So many of them have not really tried to go through the channel. They haven't done it very well. They've only been tipping their toes in the water. So at SaaSMAX, we have a lot of expertise on staff, myself and the success team, which I'll introduce to you in a little bit, as well as many others on the team that have been working with channel and selling through and to channel for decades. So we understand what it takes for a channel program to be successful and to make sure that the partners are also being successful with the products and are enjoying good profits and able to provide a good life for themselves, as well as grow the company and support their staff. So we're always looking at the vendor's channel program. We're making sure that it's channel friendly. It's got to have the right tools, it's got to have the right pieces, and they really got to want to do business with you and show some type of track record of that, propensity to work hard with their channel and not just look at it as a necessary evil, if you will. So having that track record and providing good margins. Everybody's in the market to make money, and we don't look just to have good margins. A good margin, it's kind of relevant to the cost of the product that you're selling, but not just about good margins, but how do they show you how you can make other money with the product? What other products can you stack or bundle, which we'll talk about with those products? What services can you provide? What's their other channel members doing to not only deliver and sell their particular software, but how are they making a business model out of it? So we're checking all those types of pieces. We want to make sure they have a good reseller portal. Without the investment in a reseller portal, it's kind of like, are you really committed to this? And it also gives you an organized place that you can go to and find your marketing collaterals, find the different pieces that you need as a company to be successful. Making sure they know how to enable you. Not only do they need to get you to sign their contract. I mean, a lot of companies are good at getting you to sign their contracts, but they're not good at really getting you on board and understanding their product, as well as helping you once you've understood the product and once you've onboarded, you got a client or two. What are those programs are going to do with you from a marketing perspective, or do they have any MDF funds? How is it they help you sell and really get your feet wet and really get you solidified within the products that you're successful taking it out there? We do take into the marketplace some SaaS that we're very interested in that may not have a channel program today, but first they go through our channel consulting. So we have built channel programs before. We have a channel program in a box for our vendors, and we take them through that process and help them build a world-class partner program so that we do start introducing you to them, where you are starting to reach out to them, they know how to take care of you and that they're ready to go. We also have one of the world's best channel management certification courses, where their channel managers can take the course and get certified and get their little stamp on their profile. So we do a lot of work in the vetting and finding the vendors. It behooves you, it behooves us, and it also is beneficial to the SaaS vendor who wants to work with you. Next slide, please. So we call our concierge services where we're hunting money for you. And what does that really mean? So, a big thing in any type when you're looking for a new product And especially when you want to go find a new SaaS product, there's lots of them out there. If you go and type CRM into Google, you go up to Google, you type it in, you get probably 1,000 hits nowadays on 4 or 5 different 100 companies. Well, which one's best for you? Which one's best for your clients? What is it right for your vertical? Because a lot of SaaS, when you start getting into the software as a service, a lot of them are very specialized in particular niches and verticals. So it's very important to look at that as well. So our partner success team will work as your R&D arm. You can call up our partner success team or your partner success manager and say, look, I got this need. I got a couple clients that are needing CRM, or they're needing a different type of backup, or they're needing, whatever it happens to be. They need a process management software. Call us up, or a contact software. And call up your partner success manager. Tell them what you're looking for, the type of money you want to do, whatever your specifications are in that particular product, and we'll find something for you. Whether or not it's a product in SaaSMAX, we'll still try and give you some good options that you can work with and go out and be successful in those teams. So don't worry about calling us. We'll find the great products, help you build those, and make sure they're channel friendly. Next slide. So monthly targeted matchmaking, a lot of our resellers love our matchmaking. So once you first get registered and you get onto the system, of course, we're going to talk to you, and our partner success managers will have several conversations with you on your needs and what you're looking at, what you do as a business. But what we do then is we can take that, and with our partner optimizer, and where that partner optimizer piece I talked about earlier becomes relevant to you, is we know what the vendors are looking for. We know what the right type of partner is for them, and why you should want to do business with them. So when we send out a match to you, and we typically do 1 or 2 vendor matches a month for each company out there, it kind of keeps you relevant, but pay attention to them on those particular pieces, because we've carefully matched them with you. And even if you don't want to do business with them today, you're probably going to have a client that comes up in the future where they may already be buying SaaS that you don't know about. That whole shadow IT you might be seeing out there, they may already be buying something. So that gives you a good opportunity to talk to a vendor, learn about what they're about, and if you can't do business with them today or don't want to today, it's something that you have in a very active folder that your client asks you something, say, yep, I got something, and you pull out your folder, and then you can start doing business with them then. But it's very, very interesting how those matches have gone with us and with our vendors. And again, it's based on things like your business model, your verticals, your industry you work with, the client size, the different domains that your organization has. And when you talk to our partner success managers, they'll also be personally matching you with companies that may be outside of what we typically profile on. So it could be, you want to move your company into a different direction, and you're looking for some software, some applications that can take you in that direction. So it's really good to look at, to watch those matches and to respond to them. And if you're not interested and you're a member of SaaSMAX, please, when you get those matchmaking emails, don't just throw them into the trash or just delete them. Please just take a couple minutes, take a look at the product just to make sure it is something you don't want to do business with. And if it's not, just reply to all of that email and say, I'm just not interested this time, but thank you very much for thinking of me. It's just great. That way we don't have to keep the vendor's not going to bother you, and we're not going to bother you with that application again. So it's really good if you just come back, and that way you're not inundated with types of emails and stuff and feeling they're not logical for you. Great. So next slide. Very, very important. Success in the whole SaaS world is really about stacking, bundling, or layering, depending on where you're at in your business. I mean, if you're really heavy into cybersecurity, they call it more layering. Where in most of the SaaS world, especially when you get into line of business applications and peripherals in and around those, you're really stacking and bundling those applications together. It gives you the ability, and I've seen lots of SaaS companies out there doing really well with SaaS, and the majority of them are bundling it. And what it does is it gives you the ability to go out to your clients and continue to sell them real business solutions for real business problems. You're not trying to sell just a point product. It's not like, here, just buy this CRM, or just buy this particular cybersecurity app. And then you have to go back and give them something else for something different. Then you have to go back. You're going in there and you're saying, okay, look, so you're looking for a CRM. So you're obviously also, looking at some better ways of marketing, and you want to bring in new clients, and you want to, make sure that you can get your statistics out that you want to, and you know what's going on with all the deals, and you might want that to work with your line of business applications. So here's my service, and it includes these 4 or 5 different types that you sell all the applications at once. You can sell service packages on top of them. It just makes you much more successful, and it also ties you to those clients. Not only have you provided them the products, whether or not it's white labeled under your own brand or not, it doesn't necessarily matter, because they're buying them from you, and you're providing the services, and you're the one that gets the tie into them. So, you know, it's very, very important that you look at the whole bundling and stacking, and we'll help you with that. Your partner success managers and the partner success team here, we work every day in helping our solution providers with bundles and stacks of apps and suggestions of things that can work together and the types of services you can provide in and around them. So have those conversations with our success team. It's very, very similar to our concierge service. Instead of looking for one app, you're looking for a solution, which typically, even in cybersecurity today, if you're going out and selling cybersecurity or whatever it is you're selling today, if you're a managed service provider, you're really layering your RMM and your PRM and all these different tools together that the client never sees. Your antivirus, your different pieces, they never really see them. You know, and it's the same thing when you're in the SaaS world. So, you know, if you've been out there doing managed services, or you've been selling different bundled apps and providing services on top of that's really a managed service, you know, the SaaS world's not that much different at all. So give us an opportunity to help you with that stacking, bundling, and layering. Next slide. So our white labeled channel e-commerce platform, which we're very close to, we've been talking about it for a year, and things are moving very, very well. And I don't have a complete release date here, but it'll be late this summer, early this fall, that we'll be releasing it. What that gives you the capability of doing is to come to SaaSMAX, find those 4 or 5 or 6 apps that you want to sell as a bundle, or you might have a few point products you want to sell too, because you got the client relationships and you can direct them to your web store to buy them and make some additional money and make, you know, some nice pocket money for yourself if you're the owner, that you can take that next little vacation that you want to with the wife and kids and significant others, you know, whatever you want to do with it. But it's a full quote to cash system where you can come to our marketplace, the mothership, if you will, of the SaaS applications, choose the apps that you would like to have to be able to promote, and then launch your own web store, and a full-fledged web store that can handle all the billing, do all the processing underneath, as well as giving you the ability to come into and log into the system and see what products you sold, how your products are performing, how your web store is performing. You'll be able to see who owes you money, if it's commission-based, if it's white label, who owes you money, who you owe money to, and how your performance is going month to month on your web store. We also help with that whole piece, in that we'll be attaching blogs and helping you with the SEO on that particular web store. So as an organization, we'll be helping with that to help you drive traffic there. And if you want, you can provide the vendors the ability that you're working with through the web store to actually post blogs and content out there to help drive people from a general region to your web store. Along with that, then we of course have the ability to do deal registration and quoting and the whole piece, as well as adding your own services to the web store if you want. So if you want to provide a whole service kit, you can actually create your own products within the system and sell them through the system as well. So this is definitely something to continue to think about, which is coming out. And very soon, probably within, I would say, the next 2 weeks, we'll be starting to do some webinars and showing this particular product to all of our current solution providers. We got a couple hundred people that are just waiting for them to come out because we've been talking about it for so long, but it's right there ready to be launched. So next slide. We do a lot, again, as a value-added distributor, we go a lot further than that, insofar as we have a lot of educational content. We call it crossing the SaaSm. So bringing the markets together and helping people understand the SaaS market, from the vendors understanding the channel, from the channel to understanding the vendors and how everybody works together. And one of the things that we get very well attended are partner perspective webinars, which are peer-driven webinars, where we'll have a couple of our successful partners out there that have made transitions into the SaaS market, and they talk about certain areas of their business that they've changed, or how it affected it, or how it affected their relationship with the clients, or how do you select a good SaaS vendor with a good channel program. So we have a lot of those up on our blog today, called whysaas.com, and you can see a lot of the partner perspectives up there, as well as industry perspectives and expert perspective. We call them expert perspective webinars. We do webinars with CompTIA and Gartner and others that, there's a great Gartner one up there that you should go and watch from December on our blog, which was one of our industry perspectives. Just great material for you to continue to learn more and more about the industry and where you want to take your company For instance, we have 2 coming up, which you'll be getting invited to very shortly. On September 13th, we have Kendra Lee, who will be talking about the 4 keys of hiring great sales reps and getting results from them. Kendra is fantastic. Laura, of course, can talk much better about her. She's got a really good relationship with her, but she does a lot of training in and around IT companies and other companies on how to hire sales reps and get results. So it's great. And then in October, we have John Werilo. Sorry, I didn't mean to butcher his name. And he's going to be talking about 8 things that drive company, value in your company. How do you drive your company's value? And I believe, Laura, is that about driving value in your company insofar as positioning it to sale, or just how do you show the value of your company? What's that one about?
John is world renowned for helping companies build their companies to sell them. And he's going to be talking about how you can position recurring revenue to increase your company value so that if you do decide to sell it, you can get your maximum for it, and also how to set up your infrastructure inside so that you get the most out of recurring revenue.
Yeah, so a great webinar, and maybe a little bit of Kendra's background, if you would.
So Kendra's considered one of the top sales trainers in the country. She recently finished doing a couple of keynotes at Microsoft Inspire. She helps you not only hire your sales reps, but get the most value out of them. Because sometimes you bring somebody on board, but they just don't perform. So she's going to talk about how you hire somebody and then get the results you need from them.
Yeah, which is great. I can't wait to watch that one too, because a lot of times it's not that the sales rep you hired wasn't any good, it's that you didn't enable them well.
It's 2 parts to that, right? It's not only you as the reseller, the hirer, but it's also about the person you hire. How do you work together? How do you make sure they have the tools they need and then are motivated to transform their sales?
Exactly. So yeah, thank you for that, Laura. And again, I've been talking about our blog, and I want to thank Laura for setting those up. She did a great job in finding these folks and dealing with them. Laura does have her own radio show on iHeartRadio, so you should watch that. She was one of your peers and did a good job of exiting, and worked in at some other shops as well, and then wrote some books and started a radio show. So she's got some great content on there as well. The YSAS blog is ysas.com. A lot of great content up there to go and watch. So help you understand more of the SaaS market, our partner perspectives, our industry perspectives. Just a lot of great content up there you should really go and pay attention to. The other piece that we do is what we call snapshot webinars. Please pay attention to these. Even if you think you might not be interested in the product that we're highlighting on that particular day, they tend to end up being very short webinars. They're about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on the number of questions that we get from the audience on those particular pieces. But what we help our vendors understand is that the first presentation that a business owner that really is looking for products for his company wants to know is like, what is that target market? What's that business model? And how do I make money? And not just on the commissions, but like I talked about earlier, what other peripherals can you sell along with it? What other services can you add to it? And then, of course, how they support you. Are they a good partner to work with? Do they love you? How are they going to support you to be successful with their product? Because they have to understand that they're not only using their time to get you going, but they're using your time, and they need to be just as respectful as that. So, they need to be able to support you. And again, that's a big thing that we do in our channel consulting for them. Next slide. So, just kind of a little recap on SaaSMAX and the one-stop for channel-friendly solutions that want to do business with you. We really help increase your speed to market. Doing a lot of the research and development, the matchmaking, making sure that the companies are there and ready to work with you and understand how to work with channels. The web stores coming up are going to help you drive sales and be able to collect money from your web stores and to position yourself very well in your market. I also know that when I talk to a lot of managed service providers or other company cloud service providers and managed cloud, all these different CRM integrators, as you start to launch your own web stores and you start to launch different SaaS products out there in the marketplace, you no longer become just a regional player, but you start to become more of a national or even an international player. You really start picking up clients in different areas. So it's very important. SaaS does a lot for your company other than just different products you can take to market. So there's a lot of different things that you can talk to our partner success team where we're seeing the benefits to companies like yours. And of course, all of our education programs. And I'd love to go ahead and introduce you to some of our partner success team members. Of course, there's me, but you've been hearing about me all day. So Alan Hoke is our Director of Partners and Resellers, part of the Partner Success team, and you'll be hearing from him from this webinar, as well as from Brigant Hill, Senior Director of SaaS Channel Strategist, who's also will be working with to help you make matches and help you understand the SaaS market and what we can do for you and all the ins and outs. So be looking to hear from these gentlemen as well as myself in the future. So it's a great team. Next slide. So right after this slide, we'll go to question and answers, but how do you get started? All sounds great, Clint, so what do I do now? You just go up to SaaSMax.com. Upper right-hand corner, you select register, then select reseller. Fill out the form, and remember, the username cannot be used as an email address. We get a lot of people that abort because they don't realize they can't use their email address as their username. So make sure you take the time to fill that out, and make sure you're filling out that form well. Because again, as you saw with our partner optimizer piece, we're going to take that information that you put in there to start making matches with you. So make sure that you spend some time and think about it. Once you get registered, Alan or myself or Brigant will be, or another member of our partner success team will be in touch with you, just to kind of walk you through, make sure everything got filled out properly, learn more about your business and where you may have some specific needs, or where you might want to take your company, or exactly what you're interested in, so they can help you out. We'll also get your account approved, and there's no cost to you as a solution provider. So again, we'll take a few minutes here. We got a few minutes left, so we can go to the next slide. But then, we got any questions out there, Laura, that we need to answer?
We have a lot of really great questions that have been coming in. If you've had any trouble putting the questions in the question pane, which a few people have, please just type them into the chat window, and I will read the questions from there as well. Okay, so one of the questions that came in: without the typical fees I make for installation and ongoing configuration and support for on-premises solutions, is working with SaaS products just a product margin play?
Good question. No, it's not just a product margin play. And when I've talked to a lot of different companies out there that do a lot of SaaS, it's all about the stacking, bundling, and layering. Okay, anybody can go out and buy a CRM. Any company can go out and buy that. They can go out and they can buy some type of marketing app. They can go out and buy a backup. They can go out and buy Dropbox. They can go out and buy Carbonite. They can buy antivirus stuff, and they can install it themselves. Where the value of the channel lies, and where you really make your money on it, just like any other on-prem product solution today, is you make your money on, you help them configure it. You help them get it set up so those applications are working well. And they work well with each other, and then you're also helping them integrate it with their line of business applications, and you have ongoing management that you can do. And you can also select, there are SaaS companies out there that want to offload level 1 support. Some of them want to offload level 2 support, some of them don't. So it's all about how you want to go to market and where you want to drive your most, your dollars, and how much service time you want to put into it, how much you might not, and how much you want to rely on a vendor. So it's really about your business model, how you want to go to work, and get introduced to the SaaS vendors that support your business model. So again, very important that you talk to guys like Alan or Brigant or myself, or someone on the partner success team, and let them know that I want just white labeled, or I want things where I can do the service on, or no, I just want to sell some apps. I'm just going to have a small web store out there that I can sell a couple apps I can make a little additional money on. So long-winded answer, but I think part of that answer is it depends on what you want to do and where you want to make your most money.
So it really does sound, it's not just a product margin play, it expands it, which ends up building up other sources of revenue for you as well, which leads to a question that came up, which I think builds with it. And we're approaching the 30-minute mark, but we have a lot of questions. So if you do need to drop off, we'll make sure that you get a copy of this webinar recording. We want to make sure that we answer everybody's questions. So the question is, how do the commissions flow from the SaaS vendor to the reseller?
So again, it depends on the SaaS vendor. So the predominant models out there today from SaaS vendors to the channel, some of them are commission, or let's start the other one, affiliate, where you refer business into the SaaS vendor. The SaaS vendor picks it up, closes the deal, records it was closed, and you get a small commission. and there's really not much more you do with it after that. Then you got like referral type, reseller type models where you're still selling the brand of the SaaS vendor, and you still can, but you can still wrap those into bundles and such. But in some of those instances, the vendor will bill the client and write you a commission check at the end of the month, or probably around the 15th of the following month. But they'll pay you a commission, and some of them will allow you to bill the client and you pay them, and you're still using their brand. The other models are more like wholesale models or white label models. Like a wholesale model, you may or not be using the vendor's brand to help you sell it, but you're actually setting the price. In many cases, you'd be setting the price to the client, and you get a discount off of, kind of like a lot of the on-prem products have been. There may be an MSRP out there. Some of them, they don't have MSRPs. So some of them you can set your own price up, or you get a percentage off on each license you sell, but you are the one paying the vendor and you're the one collecting the money from the client. And then of course the white label is where you white label it, you put your brand on it. Sometimes it'll be powered by, or sometimes it might not even show up of who the vendor is, and you make your own prices up, you wrap into your service, and every month you just pay the vendor for the licenses that your clients are using. So I think it's very flexible. That's how I look at the model. It's a very flexible model, and you can kind of build what you want out of it.
And you can always work with the partner success team if there's one particular model you prefer or another, and they can help you find the right solutions. Right,
Exactly.
Clint?
That is correct. Yep.
Another question has come in regarding cybersecurity. The question is, cybersecurity has become such a huge need for my clients. How many SaaS vendors do you have on board in the cybersecurity realm to help reduce my amount of time to market for my clients?
Yes, we got 10 or 12 cybersecurity products in there today, and we're continually adding. We're really working hard on that particular piece. If you go up to our website, you can go. We're launching our whole cybersecurity bundles, and in those bundles we have identified about 10 categories in the cybersecurity realm. We've worked with some other cybersecurity experts to come up with 10 categories, and we're looking to fill each one of those categories with 2 to 3 or 4 vendors that you can choose from that have different models and pieces like that. So you can choose a model and a product that best fits it. So again, cybersecurity and providing cybersecurity, a lot of times cybersecurity, they call it layering, and it's about choosing products that will cover the breadth of that piece for you. And we're working hard to be able to deliver that whole piece to you.
We already answered the when will the e-commerce platform be available. The follow-up to that is there a limit to the number of SaaS products that I can have in my online store and the kinds of products?
There's no limit to it. The base web store, which will allow somewhere between 10 or 12 apps to be in the web store at no cost. And then if you want to go above 10 or 12 products, then we'll have like a nominal fee, like $25 a month or so. But very, very low cost or no cost to the solution providers at all.
And we're getting down to the end on here. Thank you, everybody who has stayed on. Anybody that does need to leave, we will be getting you the recording afterwards. We just want to make sure we answer all the questions. I've got great relationships with my vendors. How does working with SaaSMAX help me develop new or stronger vendor relationships? Can I do this myself and at lower cost?
Of course you can do it yourself. I'm not sure that the cost will be lower. I mean, you're not going to get a better price from the vendor. The vendors that we work with are providing our channel the same as they would if they do direct channel. So you're not getting any cost benefit from the vendor if you go to them directly. But the real lower cost, the whole piece comes into it, is that we've done a lot of vetting of those products, and a lot of our solution providers like choosing products from our marketplace because we've already vetted them, and as long as they meet their specifications, they know that they can quickly sign up with them and start selling the product. So you're really taking a good 3 months out of that whole research and R&D type piece and consolidating that, so your time to market, your time to actual revenue can be increased much faster from that time frame. We do not, when you're working with us, we do not make any impediments between you and the vendor. You would have the same or even stronger relationships with the vendors through us. again, we're introducing you to the vendors. We're also there. Of course, we don't dictate the models and the business models and the things that the vendors can do, but it's going to be very strong relationship, just as you're doing it yourself. The other piece is when you talk about getting new vendor relationships, that's where we also come into play very big. You'll notice if you go to a lot of different distributors or marketplaces, you're getting the same old big brand companies out there that are working with thousands of channel, where we work with a lot of those as well, but we're also finding a lot of smaller, innovative, very, very strong products coming out in the marketplace. And that's one of the big things too that our resellers like about us, is that we're finding those new products that are coming out that can really make you, as you adopt them, can really give you a big differentiator in the marketplace and get you out there first.
It's interesting, Clint, when you were answering that question, the thing that came to my mind, especially their question about, can I do this myself and at lower cost? One of the things I used to forget when I had my tech company, I was a reseller, was this whole concept of there's a cost to my time and to my staff time when we're researching things. I build out at $175 an hour, $250 an hour, depending on which level of work that I was doing personally. Every time I spent an hour or 2 hours researching which applications my client would need, or which vendor and what their programs were, and talking to them to find out what the deals were they would give me, that meant time away from doing billing or increasing the bottom line. So I'd like everybody to think about that when you're thinking about, is it better to work with somebody to find the stuff for you to do it yourself? There's a combination, right? I think the beauty of SaaSMAX and everything you were talking about is that it's all in one place. I can go here, know that they've been vetted. I've got my web store. I can choose what I want to put up there. It's efficient. It makes it simple, and then I can go, okay, I want to talk to this person, but I'm already getting a better deal, because as I run all the webinars and do these snapshots, the offerings that the vendors inside the SaaSMAX platform are offering, you can't touch those anywhere else. So it's a bigger picture than that. It's what's your cost of time of doing it yourself versus having somebody who's not charging you to do it for you.
Yeah, and then the other benefit too that I didn't mention, that whole piece, was we do work with the vendors in SaaSMAX to provide SaaSMAX resellers additional benefits. Like one of our products charges, that we work with and that we're doing really well with, charges $2,000 to be a partner up front to get everything done that needs to be done. They do charge $2,000 to be a partner, but through SaaSMAX you get that reduced to $1,000. So there are other benefits that you do get from us. We also make sure that we work hard to make sure that our partners, or our vendor partners, are providing our solution providers and resellers good kickstart margins. So you just came on, first 3 clients, you're going to get for X amount of dollars off on for X amount of time, or you're going to get so many free licenses, or if you get so many clients, you get free licenses in-house, and different things like that. And the last point,
the power of the group.
Yeah, it's the power of the group, in group purchasing. So great, but I think we could come up to a stop point though. So
that's the last of our questions, so it was perfect timing.
Excellent. So thank you. I want to thank everyone for coming, and really thank Laura for all the great work that she does in putting all this information together for us, and all the webinars together, and working with the vendors to make sure it gets done, and everything's succinct. She does a great job in the background, and you can't give her kudos enough. And thank you for your time, and have a great day. Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Clint. If anybody has any other questions, please feel free to email Clint, and his email is right on the screen, ccgatewood@saasmax.com, and we'll get your questions answered. Have a great day, everyone.